What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Seventh Dispensation Podcast. What I want to say is that the victim of a crime can never be a snitch. As a victim of a crime, you have a right to report your abuse. You have a right to go to court and testify about your abuse. The only people who are labeled as snitches are people who are co-defendants of a crime or witnesses of a crime. But the actual victim of a crime can never be a snitch because you have a right to report your abuse. And I say that to say because, like, a lot of crimes are committed by family. A lot of crimes are committed by people who are entrusted to watch over others. And those are the ones who get away with the crimes more than just a regular perpetrator of a crime. Like females being raped by family members, females being raped by the friends of family members, females being raped by guardians. That is the majority or the highest rate of crime in America. And so for a person to go through something like that, they have to have a right to report such an abuse. And so when you look at things such as, right, a lot of people, social media, right, has made it easier to solve a lot of crimes that's organized crimes, corrupt organization crimes, right? And those type of crimes fall under RICO, racketeering, because it is a corrupt organization. It is an organized factor which falls under the RICO Act. And conspiracy is when two or more people talk about committing a crime and then carry it out. That's all conspiracy is, right? And see, a lot of times what people fail to understand about me is that I'm a criminal justice major. When I went to college, I took criminal justice in college. And criminal justice is not like the police. In criminal justice, they taught us how to be the CIA. They taught us how to be the FBI. They taught us how to be DEA. They taught us how to be prosecutors. They taught us how to be the judge. See, all of that fall under criminal justice. But when you graduate, you get to choose what field you go into. That's what criminal justice is. Now, you got the police academy if you want to be a police officer riding around in a police car. And some police do take criminal justice to try to move up in rank. But you don't need criminal justice to be a police officer. You just need to go to the police academy. But to be an FBI agent, a CIA agent, DEA agent, special forces, and things of that nature, you have to take criminal justice because it's a whole different platform. And I'm a criminal justice major. Even though I never became an officer, but I did take the class. I did take the course. and I did graduate, and they did teach me everything that I needed to know. You know what I'm saying? I know how to investigate. I know how to shoot. You know, and they taught me how to shoot and everything. You know, I know how to do everything, right? So, and by me taking the major, right, it's kind of got like embedded in me. Okay, even though I'm not an officer in no type of way, I could see things like how the police see it. I know how to investigate, and I know how to solve crimes. I know how to do everything because they trained me. I was trained by some of the best officers because all of our teachers were officers. And they taught me, man, so much in there, man, that if I was to become the CIA or the DEA or the FBI or something, I would be an extraordinary good officer because, man, I was trained by the best. You know? So when you come to, like, my little brother, right, and the things that I witnessed in this, like one day I was at my mother's house and the phone rang. And I don't usually answer her phone, but when the answering machine came on, it was the doctor, and she started talking, and she was leaving a message for my little brother. So I picked it up once I heard her talking, and I heard what she was saying. And she told me, the doctor now, she said that she was calling because she wanted to know why he kept denying all of his doctor appointments that had to do with him getting his legs. So, you know, my brother was a double amputee, and they were supposed to give him some legs. And the doctor called and said that they wanted to know why he kept denying all of his appointments to get the legs. So I was like, I told the doctor, I said, well, I really don't think he denying that. You know what I'm saying? But I told her, I said, give me the number, and I'm going to call him, and I'm going to have him call you. So she gave me the number, and I called him. And I said, man, the doctor just called and said they wanted to know why you keep denying all of your appointments to get the legs. And he was like, man, I ain't denying no appointment. Then I was like, well, here go the number. Call her right now, because I told her I was going to call and give you the number so you can find out what's going on, right? So I give him the number, and I hang up. Next thing I know, my mother called me. And she like talking shit. And about something, you know, about, like, she mad that I called and gave him the number and told him that the doctor said she wanted to know why he kept denying his appointments. And you gotta remember, he said that he never denied no appointments. So by her calling my mother's house, and my little brother didn't live there, you know, he lived in his own house. So the only person who could have been denying them appointments was my mother. That's why the doctor was calling that house, because that's the number that they got. You see what I'm saying? So that's why she called me after I called him and gave him the number and told him to call the doctor. And then she called me cussing me out, talking shit, mad, you know, like, so I'm sitting there thinking, like, who would be mad about that? Like, why is you mad that I called him and gave him the doctor number and told him that she wanted to know why he kept denying all of his appointments? So then we hang up. So I'm sitting there, right? Next thing I know, I'm hearing beep, 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 beep on her iPad, because she got her iPad sitting on the table. So the iPad just ringing and ringing and ringing, going off, right? So I was like, damn. So I get up and look at the iPad, right? How come I see Facebook messaging on there, and it's her messaging either her solars or the people in her devil worshiping organization that she belonged to? and the iPad just binging off. You know what I'm saying? So I read it, and I see that she wrote, "I'm gonna do it. I'm going ahead and do it, y'all. I should have been did it." So I said, "Damn, I know this motherfucker ain't talking about me, cause we just got off the phone." You know what I'm saying? And now your iPad going off, and you done text some shit talking about, "I'm gonna do it. I should have been did it." So I'm reading the shit, and I'm seeing the texts back and forth, right? And this Facebook message. So I say, okay. So later on, right, I don't say nothing, let her know I read the shit, right? But I told my little brother, I was like, man, dig, I read these messages. This nigga sitting here texting somebody talking about she gonna do some shit. She should have been did it, right? I was like, I know this nigga ain't talking about me. And then he told her that I told him, right? And then because I also told him that, like, man, this nigga probably the nigga who did the shit to you. And then that's why she been denying your appointments to go get your legs and all this shit, right? So she tried to she got like 2 computers, like a gray computer and then the black iPad, right? So she take the gray computer over there, I guess to show him and try to make it seem like I ain't know what I'm talking about. I'm crazy. I'm just making up some shit. So I tell the nigga, I said, man, that computer she took over there and showed you ain't even a computer. The computer that shit popped up on is black, and it's an iPad, not no motherfucking Dell computer. So then she went and hid the iPad somewhere, so I couldn't see the motherfucker, right? But you gotta think this, right? You cannot erase Facebook messages. You could delete it, but it can always be pulled back up. Facebook messaging never goes away, right? So you got to think, man, if she was messaging them about doing something to me, and she said, I'm going to go and do it, I should have been did it, and they texting back and forth, it's still in the system. She might have erased it off of the Facebook messaging, but it's still in Facebook, like the FBI, the CIA, we could pull that up. You see what I'm saying? It could be pulled back up. That's something that can't be erased. So it could be pulled back up. Now, so it could be pulled back up, right? So now, time go on, right? And look what happened to me. I ate some shit one day, and all my muscles just went away. I'm talking about my muscles just went away. My shit was feeling like rubber bands, right? And I remember I told my little brother, I said, man, I ate some shit, dog. I feel like I got cerebral palsy and shit. I feel like the nigga Michael J. Fox, you know what I'm saying? Like, my whole body, like, was moving funny, like, and then I ate some shit again, and then I couldn't walk. And that's when I went to the doctor. They talking about, oh, you got diabetes. You see what I'm saying? And that's when I was like, no, I ain't got no diabetes. This nigga then put some in my motherfucking food. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they was saying they was going to do, and they should have been dead. You know, they should have been poisoning me. Because it's the same shit that happened to my little brother, you know? He ate some shit, then next thing you know, he was all fucked up. And they told him he had diabetes. Now, I done ate some shit. All my muscles gone. I ate some shit. Now I can't walk or nothing. They telling me I got diabetes. So now I go to the doctor. But like I told y'all, the only thing that saved me was when I took my little brother to the doctor, I heard what the doctor told him that he had and how he caught it, and that it wasn't no diabetes. So when they told me, gave me a false diagnosis at the, I think I went to either this hospital down here on Nam Mile and Greenfield, and they tried to tell me I had diabetes, right? But then, so I went and got me a private doctor, went to a private doctor, and I told him that, no, I got this shit right here. I took the name of what the doctor said my little brother had, and he was able to cure me. That's why I could walk now. My muscles came back. You see what I'm saying? I couldn't even punch before. Now I could punch. All type of shit. I could walk. You see what I'm saying? My doctor cured me. And it was because I had the correct information to give him. In other words, they was gonna lie and say I had diabetes, and I'll still be fucked up to this day. Like my little brother, they fucked him up, right? So now, time go on, right? And you gotta understand that, like, that's some serious shit. That these motherfuckers actually got some kind of bacteria that they putting in people's food that could cause you to lose your muscles, that could cause you to not be able to walk, cause your feet to swell up, and then they got doctors and nurses that's giving people false diagnoses and saying, oh, you got diabetes, to cover up that you've been poisoned with a bacteria. And see, by them being on Facebook Messenger, right, and by us being able to pull up those messages, that's where conspiracy come in. And this is how we take down the whole organization. Because conspiracy is two or more people talking about committing a crime and then carrying it out. So when she texted them and said, I'm going to do it. Yeah. I should have been did it. And then they responded. And then it became a conversation. See, that's conspiracy. That's all it takes for conspiracy, right? Now, by them being in an organization together, or SOARs, or whatever you want to call it, right? That's an organization. So now it becomes a corrupt organization. So now you got conspiracy and you got corrupt organization. That's all you need for a RICO, to take them down. And then once you pull up those Facebook messages, man, do you know what's probably in those messages? Once you see who she was talking to, and we get her messages, and we get their messages, and we get their messages, and we get all their messages, everybody in that organization, we start getting their messages. Do you understand how many murders, how many crimes that they done committed? Do you understand that? Because her poisoning me, her poisoning my brother, her poisoning my sister, that's just her. We don't know how many people they done poisoned. We don't know how many people they done killed. Because this was a conversation she was having with a group of people about doing something to me. And I ended up eating something, and I ended up going to the hospital and being poisoned. That's RICO. That's conspiracy. And a victim of a crime can never be a snitch. A snitch is like a co-defendant or a witness. But all victims of a crime have a right to report their abuse. Peace.